It's lightning in a bottle, really is.
So my name is Ruby. I'm from CHUM 1045. Thank you so much for talking to me. Toronto Comicon, it's back March 14th until the 16th. Supernatural has so many dedicated fans. So what do you look forward to most at events like Comic Con?
It's just still, it's so incredible to me. The show ended, as it were, 5 years ago, and now we're going to conventions, like conventions I haven't been to before, for example. And we do a panel sometimes. There's Jared, there's 4 or 5 of us on stage, and the room is packed. And we'll say hands up, who's new to the show, and more than half the room is new. People who for them the show just began. And it is, people say it's this gift that keeps on giving. It's just incredible to me that you do a job that you love, and 5 years later, people are still saying to you that they've just discovered it and that they it means something to them. And it's really rare. It's lightning in a bottle, really is. Having worked on other things now, it's incredibly rare, and we just all do appreciate it so much that the fans, it brings so much love, and we get love. It's
You
awesome.
definitely get love. And actually, that brings me to my next question. Have you met your biggest fan yet? Like the person that you're like, wow, this is, the biggest fan. Like they have your, name
Um,
tattooed on their face or something.
yeah, I've met a few fans. My face is definitely on a calf and on a thigh. There's
Okay, so maybe not a
yeah.
face, but a calf and a thigh is good.
Yeah. But there's a group, for example, in Britain, it's kind of younger women, and they instigated getting a billboard paid for outside of Netflix when Dead Boy Detectives got cancelled, which is a spin-off show in a way from one of the writers of Supernatural, and Jeremy Carver, and a few of us who were involved with Supernatural, and that came from the Supernatural fandom, and then they supported this new show, and as I said, paid for a billboard, which was just incredible. Oh, they've paid for a few by now, actually. So, there's been some long-term fans, and yeah, there's quite a few I know by name at this point, who a lot of women that I would consider, colleagues in a way. They're almost like official organizers of fandom in their own way. They run websites for us, and it's been quite interactive in that way with our show because it's just been so long. You get to know people, you get to know the fans.
I love this. Did the billboards spark any, like, did they have an impact? Did they spark any conversations? Did they help at all?
We really tried to tweet them and repost them. You'd have to ask Netflix. If I'm ever back in there, I'll ask them.
Well, like you said, Supernatural, it ended 5 years ago. So how does it feel to still be, going to these conventions with these people that you worked with and, getting together now?
So many of the people in the show are some of my best friends, and also the handlers. You get to know, the people that help you on the show, that are escorting you around and working with you. We're very fond of so many of the people that we work with. So I really look forward to catching up. And some of the actors and actresses I didn't actually film with on scene. I did a lot with the boys and with Mark Shepherd. So for example, Sam Smith, I think, she's at a lot of these Fan Expo ones, and I just adore Sam. And it's a chance for us to catch up, and she gives me lots of advice about Margaret and everything. So it's just wonderful.
That's excellent. And you and your partner were both on Supernatural as
Yes.
well. So
Yeah.
what would you say to someone that's considering dating someone that they work with?
I think we're the fourth relationship through the show or via the show. So, I honestly, I was not somebody who dated at all. So I'm really the wrong person to give advice about dating whatsoever. It was a very slow burn, and actually we met at Comic-Con. And that's such a kind of, I don't know, it's not a cliche 'cause it doesn't happen very often, I don't think, but it's just so funny that, our lives revolve around so many Comic-Cons, and we met on the Warner Brothers booth at Comic-Con, and we were friends for a long time first. So I have no advice about dating, period. Never mind dating someone you work with.
It's romantic though. The fans must love that you guys met at Comic Con. And actually, I know that you guys have a daughter together. My partner and I also work together and have a daughter together.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. But I do wonder, at what point do you think? I mean, your daughter's only one now, but at what point do you think you're going to let her watch Supernatural and see her parents' sort of
The first thing
backstory?
she ever, because we try not to have screens too much around her. It's hard. But the first thing she
Yes,
ever saw was the trailer for Dead Boy Detectives because I was so excited, for it to come out. So she catches glimpses of Supernatural because Rob and my partner and Rich, they do the rewatch, the official rewatch podcast.
yeah.
So Supernatural is kind of on in the background a lot more than is kind of healthy, I would say. Rob's always watching it. Yeah.
It's slightly different than Miss Rachel.
Yes. But there's nothing I showed her 2 minutes of 101 Dalmatians the other day. We really are trying to minimize the screen thing for as long as we can, which is going to be tough in this day and age.
Definitely. And especially too, because you do some of the voices of Merida. So not from Brave, but you are Merida in other
Yes.
things. So do you
Yes.
ever have fans that know you from that?
Yes, it's so cute. Some of the younger fans, they don't, they come up and I'll say something to them that Merida that she might say, and that is wonderful. Like, there's always a handful of especially younger kids. One of the coolest jobs I did that I didn't realize at the time was doing an episode of Sophia the First, and that's probably the first thing I would show Margaret is when I was played Merida and Sophia the First. So yeah, there's always a younger contingency of Disney fans and Merida fans.
You're looking forward to Toronto Comic Con then?
Yeah, and I've got Lisa Berry who played Death in Supernatural. She's one of my dear friends. She actually flew out to help me when Margaret was just born. So I'm gonna see her, make sure I'll see her. She lives in Toronto, so I get to do that as well. I get to catch up with people. And yeah, I think Alex Calvert's going to be there. We always have a really good carry on. He's one of my favorites. I think Jim Beaver and Mark Shepherd are all going to be there from the show.
And how long are you going to be in Toronto for?
Well, because of baby, I fly in as late as possible and leave as early as possible. That's
Yes.
the so that she doesn't forget who I am. It's
Yeah,
like
I get that.
2 days is a long time. And then we're talking. There's one that I'll maybe bring her. I don't want to disrupt her. She's got such a good schedule here. We've
Mm,
worked really hard on it, as you can imagine. So
yes.
I took her with me. I did a few in Europe last year, and I brought her with me for the month, which was quite brave. Now in hindsight, I my parents helped me, but yeah, I took her to. She's been to Austria. She's been to a convention in Austria. So
That I don't know how you did that. I have taken my baby on a plane for like 2 hours for 2 weeks and then came back and was just exhausted for a
yeah,
month.
airports are a lot, and I think the older, probably the tougher. She was a baby at the time, and she was quite just kind of like she was just wanted to look at everyone on the plane and see what was going on. She's quite sociable. So
Well, I love that. Okay, well, we look forward to seeing you in Toronto, however long we get you
yeah,
for, and
yeah,
I'll see if the fans have any suggestions of what you should do in your brief time that you're here. In addition to
yeah,
Comic Con and seeing your friends. And thank you
absolutely.
so much.
Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to it. I love Toronto. It's a terrific city, and Alex has filmed there a lot, so he's good for restaurant suggestions. So will be some nice dinners had too, for sure.